I spy with my little eye. And do you know why? It's because I'm a spy. That's right, boys and girls. The name's John, Moontor John. And I am a master of espionage and disguises. So listen up, because today I thought we'd learn some spy techniques. That's right. Today we're going to spy school. Spies need to avoid being seen, sneak into places undetected, steal the secret plans without getting caught, and save the world from the domination of a crazy person. Now, as well as secret missions and following suspects, a spy has to be on their toes all the time. If someone suspects a spy of tailing them, that means following them, they can start to spy on the spy. In other words, they'll spy on you while you spy on their spy. It can get kind of complicated. So let's say you're a spy and you think you're being tailed or followed by someone. Maybe you think someone has been in your room. Well, I'm going to show you 2 ways of checking to see if someone was in there when you were out. And I'm going to show you a way of checking if your stuff has been moved or tampered with. The first technique is very simple. You're going to need some thread, just a few centimeters long. Be careful with the scissors, always get an adult to help. And you're also going to need some tape. Now, if you don't have thread and you have long hair, even better, because hair is actually lighter than thread. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to stick our piece of thread down on 2 pieces of tape. So we have our tape here, and we have our other piece here. So we're going to get our piece of thread, and we're going to stick it down on 2 pieces of tape, just like this. So let's say you've been out being an excellent secret agent, and you've lots of secret documents hidden in your drawers. What you're going to do is we're going to stick the tape on one end of the drawer. So we're going to open it up and stick the tape here. And we're going to take the other end of the tape and we're going to stick it in the frame, just like this. And you simply close your drawer. So when you come home a few hours later, if that thread is still intact, your secrets are safe. But if it's broken, it means someone has opened your drawer, breaking the thread. It's actually really useful for finding out if someone's been in your bedroom too. Place the tape on your bedroom door and the other end to the door frame when you leave. So what happens is someone opens the door and the thread breaks. So when you come back, you can examine it. And if the thread's still intact, no one has been there. But if it's broken, someone's been in your room. Pretty cool, right? The next one is a little bit more complicated, but it's an even more impressive way to find out if someone's been going through your personal belongings. For this, you're going to need some chalk powder. This is literally a stick of chalk that I've shaved down with a ruler. Then you're going to need a makeup brush and some clear sticky tape. So let's say that you just got home and you have a feeling that someone has been in your room. So you decide that you're going to see if anything was touched. For example, my jellies. If someone's been going through these, I am going to kick off. So what we're going to do is we're going to dust for fingerprints to see if anybody has been at my jellies. You see, every single person on Earth has a different set of fingerprints. Even identical twins have different prints. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our makeup brush and we're going to get a little bit of chalk powder on it, dust it off, and then we're going to lightly dust the area where we think someone might have touched it. Aha! Look at this fingerprint. Someone has been at my jellies. So now we're going to take our sticky tape and place it over the print. Again, if you're using a scissors, get help from an adult. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our sticky tape and we're going to place it carefully over our fingerprint. I'm not pushing it down with my finger because I don't want to interrupt the print that's already there. So because we use white powder, it wouldn't really show up on a white sheet. So I'm going to use black paper. Stick it down here. And there we can see our fingerprint. Now it's really important to label evidence. So what you might do is cut out some white paper, stick it down here and write the date, the time and where you found this print. Now, if you suspect that someone was touching something white or clear in your house, the white powder won't show up as much. So you can simply use cocoa powder instead. Now, it might be a little bit hard for you to see it at home, but that's because we've got lights in studio here. When you do it, you'll definitely be able to catch a fingerprint. And then you can stick it to white paper. So there you have it. We have found out that there was an intruder in my classroom. Well done. Wait a minute. It turns out the intruder was me.
Today we are going to respond to music creatively. The music I have chosen is from an album by a French pianist called Didier Skibon. He's from an area in France called Brittany, which is kind of northwest but more west. When I was little, myself and my sister listened to an album of his on repeat, and my parents even took us to see him perform live. So his music always reminds me of being little, which is a lovely feeling. In Brittany, just like us, they have their own Celtic language called Breton, so Brittany, Breton. We have Gaeilge, they have Breton. Here's a few phrases in Breton we can learn quickly before we begin. So, the first one is Demad deoch. Okay, so Demad deoch, which means hello to you. Monderamad, how are things going? Are things going well? So they have mad, we say ma for good, so Monderamat. And then the last one is Kenavo, which means goodbye. So Kenavo. So let's take a listen. The first piece of music is called Arbarados, which means heaven. And that's what this music makes me think of, my idea of heaven, which is the tide flowing in and out. I have this beautiful little beach and we have the water here and the sand and some stones. And this is something that you could do really easily at home. You could even do it on paper, or you could do it in a tray with a bit of sand and a bit of water, okay? So I want you to picture a seashore, okay? So the music is going to be bringing us in with the tide and then creeping back out, or even on a stony beach and the water kind of ripples through all the rocks on its way out. Creeping back out. So it's creeping back out. Let's listen to another song. The next one is called Analach, which means swan. So in Gaeilge we say ala, so it's the same kind of thing. So it's alach, which means swan. So we're going to make a little swan to go in my lovely water scene here. So what I need is a piece of paper and a scissors, and you can do the same thing. The first thing I'm going to need to do is to make a square. So this is how I make a square, but you can make a square just by cutting it into an even square, which I'm sure you can do yourselves. So I'm going to just cut off the excess. Now, so what I have is my piece of paper in a square. So I have a fold through the middle. And the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to fold it in. So I'm going to take this corner and I need to make sure that the point stays pointed and stays thin, because that's going to be the beak of my swan. So you're going to have something that kind of looks like a kite at this point. Next, I'm going to fold these out. I'm going to fold those out evenly again. And then I need to fold it one more time, and I'm going to fold that in like that. And I'm going to fold this one in like that as well. okay? And the next thing I'm going to do is going to take its beak and I'm going to bring it to the fold at the top of my kite. I'm going to fold that beak up to the top of it and then I'm going to turn its little head over and give it a lovely little face. So here is my alach, my ala made. So I'm going to play that and we can have a little think about it and kind of imagine a swan not going over the water. Now, that's a beautiful piece of music, and you'll actually notice any songs that are written, like from Carnaval des Animaux, Carnival of the Animals, a swan song is always a little bit sad, but that's very peaceful and beautiful. And you can do the same thing at home. Make yourself a little swan, take it into the bath with you, put it in the sink, and then blow it through the water and let it travel to the sound of the music. It's absolutely beautiful. The last piece I'm going to listen to is Kereon, which is all about a coast, and it makes you think of a lighthouse, the way the music swings around just like a lighthouse light. So a lighthouse, remember, it kind of is on a pivot, so it turns and comes back. So it warns ships or any vessels that they're about to come to a coast. So we're going to be listening out for the swinging sound of the melody. Now, it's all swinging around the whole time. And you could do the same with a torch at home. So you can imagine the lighthouse. So anytime the music comes to a climax and back and up and back. But in order for us to be able to see the light properly, we're going to turn the lights down. So we're going to go around with the music. 1, 2, so it's swinging around like a lighthouse. And you could do the same even if you have a little torch at home. Why not play along to that song?
Good afternoon, everybody. Want to learn a magic trick? Watch this. A pencil, a bottle, pencil in the bottle. Grab a ghost, throw the ghost into the bottle. Ghost, make the pencil rise from the bottle. Want to know the secret? Yeah? Like all magic, the secret is really simple. Watch this. There's this thread going from there, taped down to my belt, all the way up here, and the thread goes to underneath the eraser, and you put it in this way. Don't put it in this way, put it in upside down, so the thread rises really easy. Simple, eh? Or is it an illusion? Have some fun with that one at home, fooling your friends.
Welcome to the Science Lab again. This is my space, but the good thing about everything that we're going to try today, you can try at home yourselves and be sound people. It's actual sound people. We're going to talk about sound today. I am Phil and I am going to make beautiful music with all of you, 4 of you, with machines, instruments. The sounds that we're going to make today are all about vibrations and shakes, and that's exactly what sound is. It is a vibration, and it is how sound air vibrates is what creates the things that you hear. So what we're actually going to do today is we're going to make our very own musical instrument, and it's called a membranophone. And a membrane is something that is in between two surfaces, or it's something that vibrates. So we're going to create one ourselves. It's going to end up looking something like this. So this is a bottle that we've taken and cleaned from the bin. I'm wearing my David Attenborough plastic. We're going to recycle t-shirts and stuff around here. I have some old gloves from my when I'm tanning myself, and when I have some paper straws that I've used. I have an old balloon as well in cases, and other bits and pieces like elastic. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to get one of the bottles, about 500 milliliter, it's a half a liter of like soda or whatever else you want, and you kind of cut the top off it so you're left with this kind of a shape. Now you might need help with that, and be careful because the edges of this can be a little bit sharp. So maybe get some help if you need to do with that. We're then gonna get one of these, which is a hole punch. So it's for putting holes in paper. And we're gonna try and slide this in as far as we can get it so that we can punch a hole in this. So I'm gonna do that now. And, okay, a little bit rough and ready, but we have a hole in it. Don't worry if it's a little bit jagged. We can use that again later on. So we're gonna take our glove, which is made from rubber, and this is what's gonna be our membrane, what's actually going to vibrate. And so we're gonna take our scissors, again, ask for help if you need it. So you're gonna cut the fingers off, not your own, because that'd be not cool. So you're gonna cut these out, and you're gonna be left with a nice sheet. And because the glove has two sides, once you cut it, you can only need to use half it, so you can give the other to the other person in your house to make even more of these instruments, which again will sound amazing. So now we have a sheet like this. What we're gonna do is we're gonna drape it over the top of what you've cut out that way. Make sure that it's big enough that it can go over the edges, so flatten it out that size. You want it to be nice and kind of taut, which means kind of tight around it. We're gonna get an elastic band and we're gonna put it over on top of this. Now, and you want it to be that the elastic band is higher up than the hole that you made with the hole punch, okay? Perfect. So what you're left with now is you have your glove on top of the bottle top, and it's like that. So it's like a little drum. And you have the hole here as well that you can get easy access to. It's now covered by the elastic band, so you have that. So we've got my fabulous piece of card here, which is a unicorn card, an amazing rainbow here, spectrum. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna roll this into a tube. Now, it's easier to roll it against a table than it is against in midair, so you wanna get it nice and tight because it has to go into the neck of the bottle. Now, also what you wanna look at is the length of this, because this is gonna be important. So if I take this and I have it, and it might unravel a little bit, but you're gonna take it and you're gonna put it inside the neck of the bottle, and then you're gonna push it up, right up against the top. You see a pop there of the membrane, which is what we're creating here, a membranophone up there. So now we have this, which is starting to kind of look like an instrument, like something that you might do-do-do, which is a do-to-do tube, or blow into. So it's starting to look more like an instrument. We're gonna take one of our paper straws, and then we're gonna find the hole that we made with the punch earlier on, and we're gonna push this straw inside it, up against here. As you blow through this, the sound will travel through the air and cause this to vibrate. And sound needs a medium to be, or something to travel through in order to be heard. Like in space, there's a vacuum, there's no air. No one can hear you scream, shout, or be delighted of being on the International Space Station. Air takes sound at about 340 meters a second. And in water, it travels about 4 times as fast. So depending on what sound is traveling through determines the speed, but also how you hear things. So when we blow this, you're going through air, it sounds a little bit like that, but it'll sound different in this because of the length of the tube. So it's also what air is traveling through, but the length, Skelly, I'm just going to, he has one too. So because this is shorter again, little sound different. And if I do the 3 of them together, oh, hold on. And this, you can try this with all your family. And also, I have even another one that you can make that is even simpler. With a toilet roll and a balloon that we had left over from one of Skelly's many birthday parties. He's about 180 at this stage. This vibration will make a sound which will be beautiful again. You're going to really love this. Sounds like a ship's coming into port. And actually, even we made a bigger one, even with Skelly. You ready? You're going to try this? So loud, because it's long, like it's the amount of vibrations and the times that this can bounce off each other, create resonance, which is sound bouncing around against each other. So you can try all of this, make beautiful music, and even I'd recommend that you try this stuff like together as a family or with your friends late at night, usually about midnight. I mean, your neighbors will love it, and even sound recordists love it too.
Hello, my name is Maria Corcoran and I'm a circus performer. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make your own juggling balls. For this, you're going to need some rice, some balloons, a scissors, sellotape, and some sandwich bags. First thing you need to do is open up your sandwich bag and pour in some rice. I want enough rice to make the juggling ball to fit in my hand. So everyone's is going to be a little bit different. So I think that might be about right. Let's see. Put it in my hand. I think I might add a little bit more. That seems about right. So now I'm going to twist the bag at the top and I'm going to wrap it back around itself. So I tuck it in and wrap like this. And now I'm going to twist it up really, really tight at the top. And now I need sellotape to seal it. So I'm going to put that sellotape on and make sure it's nice and tightly sealed. There we go. And now is a good time to check how durable it is because you're going to drop your juggling ball a lot. So I'm going to just test it here. None of the rice fell out. One more time. Okay, that seems pretty good. Now it's time to wrap it with our balloons. So I'm going to take a balloon and cut the end off from here. So I cut straight across and get rid of this bit. And I'm going to put my fingers inside and open out the balloon really, really wide and wrap it around the ball of rice. Now, and see the way there's a hole here? I'm going to wrap that again with another balloon. So once again, we're going to cut the end off like this and put my fingers in to open it really, really wide. And I'm going to wrap it from this end this time. And that's how you make the juggling ball. So now, if you would like to personalize the juggling ball, you can make a spotty one. So for this, I'm going to take another balloon and cut the end off just like before. And this time, I'm going to cut lots of little circles all around. This can be a little bit tricky, so maybe you can ask an adult to help you. So I'm going to cut these circles. And now, once you have your balloon with all the holes cut in it, you're going to put your fingers in, this time extra carefully. Because all the holes, it's going to be more likely to break. So we're going to be really gentle while we put that over our balloon. This bit is very tricky. So now I've got my own personalised spotty juggling ball. Next time, I'm going to show you how to juggle.